Thank you for watching, guys. There is no cost of anything. YouTube, how y'all doing? It is I, Master of Earth, and I'm here again to share with y'all another divine video. Ladies and gentlemen, I intend for this video to be one of the most significant, important videos that I'm yet to even produce on YouTube. This video will basically explain exactly how forces are controlling humans. And right now on the planet, ladies and gentlemen, humanity as a whole is being influenced by alien forces. And I don't want to sound too sci-fi with this information, but guys, truly human beings are being tampered with, and this video is intended to educate the viewer exactly how all this is going on. So this video is intended to help humans realize what they're up against, and it's also to help people understand why humans do the things that they do. Ladies and gentlemen, everything in life is extremely simple, and it's us that make stuff complex. But this video is intended to show everybody how simple it is to control humans, and also how simple it is for us to reverse the warfare that we're up against. So ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be another serious video. I hope you take the information. I hope that you use the information to become better individuals. Some of the information in this video might sound crazy, might sound far-fetched, but like they always say, the truth is stranger than fiction. Once again, guys, enjoy the video. I love you all. Peace. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll start this video by saying this. Once again, everything in life is highly simple. And the way that the universe was created, the way that God created everything, He created everything out of simplicity. And I would like everybody to know now that truly everything is simple. And to control humans or to control anything is oftentimes very simple, and it's not as complex as we think that it is. I would like everybody to know now that we have been studied by beings, by forces, and due to our ignorance of who we are, how our bodies operate, how reality is constructed, we have been put into a false existence. We have been put into a false world, and damn, it's almost impossible for us to realize what's going on unless videos like this expose it all. Ladies and gentlemen, the first thing I would like everybody to know before we can even go any further in this video, I gotta get a few things clear. And the first thing I would like to get clear is this, guys. There is absolutely no difference between the body and the mind, okay? In fact, I would like everybody to realize now that a body is actually what a mind is. They cannot exist without each other, and we need to realize now there's absolutely no difference between a body and a mind. Ladies and gentlemen, the subconscious mind is literally your body itself. If you want to know what a mind is, take a good look at your body. That's what a mind is. And I have to get that out the way. I have to really explain that real quick, because in this video we're going to be focusing on mind control. Right then and there, let's not forget what I just said. The body is the mind. So when you hear the word mind control, it literally means body control. And in this video, we're going to focus on the main form of mind control these alien forces are using on our bodies. And ladies and gentlemen, the main form of mind control being practiced on planet Earth is what is known as subconscious mind control. Ladies and gentlemen, they are already doing it. It's already happening. There's a good chance your life has been affected by it. And like I said, this video, we're going to expose it so that we all can be aware of how exactly they're controlling us so well, how exactly this planet is in the state that it's in. We're going to have to learn a lot about ourselves. We're going to have to purify a lot of ignorance. Because, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we are literally living a false existence. And who we truly are, we're ignorant of. We think we're our personalities. We think we're our egos. We think we're our minds. But, ladies and gentlemen, I would like everybody to know now that in reality, you truly aren't even your body. The only thing that you are, your energy. You are in fact the energy that powers the body. You are the energy that gives life to the body. And that's pretty much all you are. But we are under the spell, we are under the illusion that we're the body, that we're the egos. But in fact, we're actually energy. We're actually the one energy, the one source, the one divine energy source that is behind all of existence. Yeah. Well, guys, I would like to let you know that these alien forces, I already explained this in my past videos, but these alien forces, they literally use our bodies. You can actually see our bodies as spaceships for them. They use our bodies as a means for them to exist physically in this world. The very nature of our environment, the way that nature is constructed, it does not present a suitable environment for these aliens. They cannot exist in the natural world. So the only way that they can exist, what they do is, first, they take humans out of this natural world. And after that, after they take humans out of this natural world, they begin to change humans into something unnatural. They begin to change the very nature of who we are into something else. And the end product of all of their mind control, the end product of all of the things they do to us, is us becoming anti-humans. Us becoming something that's no longer a human, something highly unnatural. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, in humans' natural divine state, it will be absolutely impossible for the aliens to live in our bodies. It will be absolutely insane for them to even see us as suitable spaceships, because in human beings' natural state, the body is operating on higher levels of frequencies, higher levels of energy. And the way our bodies are designed now, because of the alien influence, our bodies has been made very, very dense, extra dense. And because of this, we have presented a suitable environment for them to exist in us. But the way that our bodies are originally designed, the frequency is powered by light. The frequency is powered by pure, natural, divine energy. And for an alien to live in a body that's powered by light, that's aka light bodies, for an alien to exist in a body like that, it will be utter hell. It will be absolute hell for them. It will give the sensation of them being in fire. That's the kind of that's how the frequencies of a light body affects them. It gives them the impression that they're literally on fire. Now, in order for them to make our bodies suitable, in order for them to make our bodies a good enough environment for them to live, they have to change the dynamics of the body. They have to change the nervous system. They have to change the organs. They have to change everything so that the energy that's powering the body will be bearable for them. It won't be as hot as fire. Instead, it will be bearable. So, in a nutshell, the way that all this is done, they're literally trying their best to remove as much life out of our bodies as possible, to remove as much essence, as much light as possible from our bodies. And in this video, we're going to explain how that's done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, in this video, we're going to have to purify a lot of ignorance we have about ourselves, we have about reality, we have about life, period. Because what we think we know about life, more than likely, is nothing more than just a fallacy. So, once again, just to remind you guys, we are not the body. Instead, we are the energy of life. We are the life of the body. We are the energy that's keeping the body alive. So what I would like everybody to know now, yes, we have bodies. Yes, we have minds. But this is only a small aspect of who we truly are. And all our bodies represent is the mind part of ourselves. This is what a mind is. A mind is a body. And what we truly are, we're the energy field that is given the body or mind life. Okay? This is who we truly are. We are the energy field. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the way that these alien forces operate, let's remember, they have studied the body, they have studied the mind, and they know how it operates. The number one priority of the aliens, the number one priority of these forces, they are trying to remove as much life from the body as possible, which means they're trying to get you out the picture. They're trying to kick your ass out your own house. And that's literally how they work. Ladies and gentlemen, they attack every single organ, everything that has to do with life in your body. They are attacking it so that the body will become less and less alive, to the point you're basically a zombie, to the point you're basically an anti-human. You're no longer a human being. So, what organs exactly are targeted? Well, guys, every single organ is targeted, but the number one priority where everything starts is at the brain. That is the first place that this warfare happens. It happens in the brain, and we're going to really touch on this. We're really going to touch on this. Let me just draw a quick brain for you guys. We're really going to touch on this real quick. This video is going to be about subconscious warfare, and I'm going to show to you guys how simple it is to control human beings and to get them to do exactly what you want. Yo! Hop in, man. We're going on the ride. Ladies and gentlemen, this video we're going to be exploring a lot of topics that will sound bizarre, will sound far-fetched. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is information you need to know. This is information your body does want you to know. But I would like everybody to realize now, life is truly subconscious. And behind the scenes, a lot of things are going on. One is this: whether we know it or not, the human body is looking at the world completely different from the way that we see the world. And I would like everybody to realize now, there is always two visions going on simultaneously when we look at things. There is the conscious vision everything that we're conscious of, you know, what we're looking at, what we perceive. And there's also the subconscious vision. And this is the vision that the body does, the way that the body sees the world. And one thing that we need to realize is that a function of the eyes that we have yet to realize is that the eyes create the ego. This is something that people don't realize, but the ego is truly created by the eyes. Yeah, so I'd like everybody to know real quick that the ego was actually created out of survival, a need of survival, because of how the human body sees the world. And the ego was literally created because the human body is incapable of separating things when it look at things. The human body is incapable of identifying things. It's incapable of seeing phenomena, and you can really say that the way when the human body looks at the world, it literally sees nothing. Nothing is happening. And the ego was created out of a need because of the way that the human body sees the world. It needed a mechanism through which it could differentiate what it's looking at. It needed a mechanism through which it could objectify things and identify things. And this was it was because of survival. We needed it for survival. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you really think about it, every single belief that you have, every single opinion, every single idea, every single thing that you like or dislike, every single thing that you know, is all a product of your perception, ladies and gentlemen. And your ego is literally the tool used to create all these things that make up our reality. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the human body is incapable of breaking down things. It can only see life as it is. It can only see the whole picture. It cannot distinguish anything from anything. It only sees one energy. Before we go any further, this part of the video might sound a little bizarre. This is information that might sound a little crazy, guys, but it is what it is. Real quick before we go any further, I would like everybody to realize that we are dealing with a vessel. The human body is blind, ladies and gentlemen. It literally cannot see reality the way that we see it. And this is something that might blow your mind. This is something that you might think is crazy. But I would like everybody to realize now that life is truly subconscious. And despite everything that you have come to believe about life, about all your opinions, all your beliefs, all your actions, I would like everybody to know that all this time, your body is really what's doing everything. Your body is moving by itself. It is acting on its own. Your body is the actual thing that's talking to people. Your body is what's doing everything. And life is subconscious, guys. The body is literally doing everything on its own accord, and this will go on despite what you believe to be true. Okay? And I know it sounds crazy, guys, but allow me to explain. Yes, guys, the human body is doing everything on its own, and life is truly subconscious. I would like everybody to realize that the ego is considered the conscious mind, and this represents less than 1% of what the mind truly is. The ego is truly powered by illusions. And I would like everybody to know now that
the ego has the tendency to have people believe that they are it. The ego has the tendency to have people believe they are their personalities, they are the body, they are their beliefs, their opinions. And real quick, guys, because I know this information might sound a little far-fetched, but in reality, guys, you are truly the energy that powers the body. You are life itself. You are energy. You are consciousness. And you are simply what's giving the body life. However the body chooses to use however the body chooses to use energy is up to the body, and you're simply here to observe. The ego is having you believe that it's doing all these things, but ladies and gentlemen, we must purify ignorance and realize now our bodies are moving on their own accord. And allow me to explain why and break it down. So let's do that real quick before we go any further. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, we must realize that the human body literally exists in the absolute reality. The human body can only experience the supreme one reality. It cannot exist in falsehood. It cannot exist in illusions. The human body can only exist in truth. And literally, the human body is always anchored in the subconscious realm. It's always anchored in energy, pure divine one energy, the one realm. And literally, guys, I would like everybody to realize that the human body can literally, it can only see the big picture, and the big picture is literally everything that exists. The human body, no matter what, at all times, the human body can only know all that exists. It cannot break down the all. It can only experience the all as the all. So we need to realize that the human being is always, the human body is always anchored in this reality. It is always anchored in the subconscious realm, or we can just call it the absolute reality, and let's just call that God. Okay? The human body experiences nature, energy, God directly. The bigger picture. The human body is always in that world. And literally, guys, the ego takes the bigger picture, breaks it down into a form that we can comprehend, that we can identify with. So the only way to do that is to create illusions. In reality, nothing is separate. Everything is everything. Everything is always God. But the ego is able to dissect God and create illusions to create forms and whatnot. Now, we need to realize that because of the very nature of the ego, remember, the ego is literally used to objectify things, is used to distinguish consciousness, is used to separate energy. We need to realize this one crucial fact. Because of the very nature of the ego, and remember, all the ego is really trying to do is trying to create forms. Okay? Because of the tendency of the ego to take all that exists, let me just put all that exists real quick. Because of the tendency of the ego to take all that exists and make it into a form perceivable by our five senses, it has, by its very nature, the ego is incapable of seeing the bigger picture. The ego is incapable of experiencing all that exists. The ego is incapable of experiencing nature. It's incapable of experiencing God directly. And Because of this, the ego can never, ever, ever be in the now. Ladies and gentlemen, the now is the moment, the now is the realm, the reality the human body is always anchored in. No matter what you believe, no matter what you think, the human body will always operate from the now. And when you speak of the now, you're literally speaking about all that literally exists. Now, guys, the reason why I say that the ego is purely illusion and all this is this, guys. The ego cannot exist within the now. And this is information I would like everybody to realize. Because of the ego's inability to experience God directly, because the ego cannot be in the now, and the way it works is this: the human body is always present in the now, and within every given moment, the ego will take the now, okay, and that's whatever's going on in the moment. This process could take 1/1000th, 1/10,000th of a second. That's how fast the mind works. That's how fast the ego works. The ego will take the now, and within 1/10,000th of a second, the ego will be able to break down the now and give it meaning. Tell you what's going on, tell you what you're witnessing, tell you what you're experiencing. And this is something that I would like everybody to realize. By time you give meaning to what you're looking at, by time you actually see what you're looking at, by time the ego actually objectifies what you're looking at, you are no longer in the now. You are about 1/10,000th late. You're about 1/10,000th in the past. And this is the big dilemma, guys. At all times, the human body is always operating from the now, and the ego will then filter this information and call it what it wants, give meaning to what it wants. And this is the big dilemma. The body might be moving on its own accord, the body might be talking to these people on its own accord, but the ego will give the illusion, okay, that it's the one doing it. But if you're in the now, if you exist in the now, you will really realize that in reality, nothing is actually happening, and everything is being orchestrated by one mind. Everything is being orchestrated by one energy source. And the ego cannot do anything. The ego has no say, it has no control. But if you're not existing in the now, you will never know this fact. And the ego will have you stuck in the past. And ladies and gentlemen, that is literally what's going on planet Earth. Everybody is living in the past. Everybody is living in the world that the ego is creating. The logical, meaningful world the ego is creating, instead of living in the now. Instead of living in the absolute reality, people are living in the past, and they are now living in perception. They are believing their perceptions, but in reality, all perceptions are false. Unless you're able to see the big picture, unless you're able to see all that exists, all your perceptions are false. And that's all I had to break down real quick. Now, real quick, guys, like I said, I don't want to stray too much off topic. This video is primarily based on subconscious mind control, and I just wanted to give a brief explanation of the conscious side of our vision, the conscious side of our minds. And I hope you see now that in reality, the conscious mind is truly one big illusion. It only represents less than 1% of the whole mind, and the only truth is the now. The only true reality is the now. And Yeah. So guys, now that we got that out the way, we need to focus now on the other type of vision that's going on behind the scenes, and that's the vision that I call subconscious vision. Yes, the body uses the ego to see what's going on, to know what's going on, but I would like you to know now that the body also is able to view the world and to take in its own type of information that it can use for life, that it can use for its health, and that's what we're going to be focusing on now in this video: subconscious vision, and how the body uses this vision to stay alive, to stay healthy and whatnot.
Okay, so now that we know in reality that the ego is not even the true player, and that it's really the body that's doing everything on its own accord, now that we know this fact, I would like everybody to realize this. Because we now know that it's really the body that's doing all of these actions, making all these decisions, doing all these things, we need to realize that everything that the body does is always based on how connected the body is to source, how connected the body is to life, how connected the body is to you. And ladies and gentlemen, let's purify some ignorance once more. We are not the bodies. Ladies and gentlemen, we are energy, the one energy that powers life. The one energy, the one mind, the one song, the one universe. Ladies and gentlemen, we are energy. Your body knows the truth. Your body knows that it is being sourced by life. Your body knows that it's being sourced by consciousness. And let's not forget, we are the ones that are truly giving the body life. We are the source of the life of the body. We are the consciousness, the energy of life. Ladies and gentlemen, your body knows the truth. Your body knows that it's us that's giving it life. So the human body is naturally designed to seek as much of life it can possibly find. It is trying its number one best to be as close to the source as possible. It's trying its number one best to be as connected to nature as possible, because the body truly understands that the closer it is to nature, the closer it will be to us, the energy that's giving it life. Now, everything that has to do with your body, ladies and gentlemen, your intelligence, your health, your physiology, your physical health, your psychic health, your experiences, everything that has to do with your body is always based on your level of consciousness. The closer you are to source, the closer you are to nature, the more life will be in your body. The further you are from source, the further you are from nature, the less life is going to be in your body. And ladies and gentlemen, that's just the way that it is. If the human body is close to nature, you will find that it will subconsciously choose things that gives it life. It will subconsciously do things that makes it grow. It will do things that gives it life. But if your body is not connected to nature, if it's not connected to source, your body will be dumb. It will do things that will be destructive to it. It will do things that are self-destructive. It will do things that will damage the environment. It will do a lot of crazy things, and we need to understand this, guys. Life is subconscious, and these aliens that control humans know the level of consciousness, which basically means the level of life within your body, always determines the actions your body will make subconsciously. And one of the number one ways to ensure that the body becomes a suitable environment for these aliens to take over, they need to make sure your body is as far away from nature as possible, so that you have as low as possible a level of consciousness. They want your level of consciousness to be as low as possible, so that your body will be perfect for them to inhabit, and so forth. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the formula, the way that these aliens work, it is very, very simple. When you understand energy, when you understand consciousness, you will see that the human body literally gets energy from the environment. Anything that's natural, trees, the wind, water, all these things give the human body energy. It expands the level of consciousness. And this is no secret, ladies and gentlemen. The sun is literally the closest any living thing can get to the source. It's one of the most easiest accessible energy sources that any living being can use to amplify, to expand the consciousness within their bodies. So right off the bat, it's very simple how these aliens operate. They don't really give a damn about anything else. All they want is to keep us in darkness. Now, in order to ensure that humans stay in darkness, we must be tampered with. The human body must be forcibly changed. And like I said before, guys, the human body knows the truth. It naturally seeks energy. It naturally seeks consciousness. It naturally seeks anything that will give it life. So, the aliens attack all of the organs our body uses to find energy. And I'm just going to sum it up for you guys. But it's very simple. One of the first organs that are targeted is our hair. And I'm going to write it right here. Hair. Now, I'm going to devote a video to hair. This is a topic that is very, very in much need. We need to really know about the hair. But all I would say here now is this. Hair can be seen as a form of natural mind control. Whether we know it or not, this is an organ. Hair is an actual living tissue. It's an actual living organ. And hair is light sensitive. Ladies and gentlemen, hair is natural mind control. The fact that we have hair will make us act and behave differently. And hair, we need to understand that this is our friends, ladies and gentlemen. This is not our enemy. Hair is playing an active role in our lives. And whether we know it or not, the more natural, the more healthy our hair is, and that's very rare in this society. It's very rare to find somebody that actually has healthy hair. But what hair does is it actually influences you subconsciously to seek the light, to do things that gives you life. And that is why having hair is frowned upon in this society. Let's remember, this society is being ran by aliens, and they really despise hair. They do not want to see anyone with natural hair, because they know subconsciously hair will influence the individual. And ladies and gentlemen, we need to realize hair is like plants. Any living thing, if you're a living thing, if you're attached to a host, you will be involved in that host's life. Hair is involved in our lives, guys, and it cares about us, it loves us, and it wants nothing but the best for the body. It's like our partners. But once we cut hair off, we immediately stop ourselves from receiving natural guidance. So I just had to break that down. That's one of the tools that they use for this mind control. They have to damage the hair because hair can be seen as a natural antenna. It can be seen as natural mind control, you know, because hair is actually on our side. And yeah, another form of another way that they attack us. They attack us through the intestines, and we need to realize that our intestines is constantly communicating with our brains, and what's going on inside our guts literally determines a lot of the things that we end up doing, a lot of the things that we end up partaking in. And one of the ways that they use the gut, the intestines to control us, they make us eat foods, unnatural foods, that specifically make the body uncomfortable in sunlight. That's one of the hidden agendas behind junk food. Yes, junk food tastes good, ladies and gentlemen, but the main reason why junk food and all these unnatural foods is being pushed is because once they enter the body, they will begin to change the body in such a way that the body can no longer tolerate the sun. Anybody that's obese, anybody that has been eating unnatural foods for a long period of time, you will find that these people cannot tolerate nature. They can't tolerate the cold, and they cannot tolerate the heat. They have to always seek shelter because their bodies are no longer able to connect with the source. Their bodies are no longer able to connect with nature. The food has changed them eternally. Now, both of these warfares, this is what the aliens use to control humans. But the main warfare that's going to be the focus of this video, one of the most important, is how they manipulate us through the eyes. And ladies and gentlemen, they are targeting our pineal glands. Who doesn't know about the pineal gland in these day and ages? And ladies and gentlemen, the function of the pineal gland, we need to realize that the pineal gland, the main function is to connect with the environment. The pineal gland is the navigational tool of the body to connect directly with everything that's going on in the environment. It is the pineal gland that gives the body the ability to adapt to the changes in the seasons. It's the pineal gland that gives the body the ability to navigate nature and to always be attuned with the environment. And the way that it works is this. In the human body, if an organ expands, that means the life energy within that organ is on the rise, is going up. Now, if an organ contracts, that means the life energy is being drained out of that organ. And that's literally what happens to the pineal gland for most human beings. The pineal gland begins to shrink, and it begins to lose its ability to connect with the environment. It begins to lose its ability to connect with nature. And eventually, through the human being not having hair, through the human being changing his body to be incapable of tolerating nature, and also by destroying the pineal gland, it will all sum up to a complete disconnection. All these things are meant to completely disconnect you from the sun, from nature, from source. And in this video, like I said, we're going to focus on the eyes. I will dedicate another video to hair. I'll probably dedicate another video to the intestines. But in this video, we're going to be focused on the pineal. And when you hear the pineal gland, what we're really referring to is light. That's going to be the focus from here on out. We're going to learn about light and see exactly how light is used in the body, exactly how light keeps us connected to nature. And by us really comprehending light, we'll be able to reverse the alien mind control going on the planet. Say hi for the camera. Now, we need to realize that our bodies are a product of nature. Our bodies in reality belong to nature, and like I already explained before, our bodies are naturally designed to be as close to nature as it possibly can. Your body, all it wants to do is to live in unison with nature. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the subconscious functions of our eyes is an antenna. And when I say antenna, we need to realize that our eyes are connected to our entire brain. This is information I don't think science have revealed to the world yet. But the optic nerve is not just one nerve. And if anybody doesn't know what the optic nerve is, that's basically the nerve that connects the eyes to the rest of the brain. The optic nerve in reality is many different nerves that travel all across the brain from different portions of the brain, and they all intersect into one bundle of nerves that we call the optic nerves, and all this leads to our eyes. Now guys, our eyes are literally antennas for our whole body and all its different body functions, and different areas of our brain need sunlight to function properly, to be healthy, and to be in unison with nature. Whether we know it or not, guys, every single day there are messages encoded in sunlight that basically tells our bodies not just what's happening here on Earth, but also what's happening in the cosmos, what's happening in the universe, what's happening in all of the different parts of the universe. The sun is basically feeding messages to the Earth on how it can be in unison with all of life across our galaxies. And we need to realize this. We need to realize that every day is different, and every day has vital information our bodies use to stay updated, to stay on track. Well, we are living in a society, we are literally living in an alien design society that is specifically designed to keep humans away from sunlight. They do not want us to get the necessary information our bodies use to make the necessary changes in our physiology, the necessary changes in our programs, in our habits, and so forth. And in a way, they are making us dumb. They are making the human body incapable of knowing what's going on in nature. And because of this, the body is just forced to remain the same. Now, the importance of this information we receive from sunlight cannot be stressed enough. And just to simplify what I'm trying to tell you, like they say, a picture speaks a million words. Well, I'm going to use this picture to really illustrate how vital the information is that we receive from sunlight.
Okay, so I chose to use this picture from a book, and what we're looking at, we're looking at chloroplasts. These are plant cells that respond to sunlight. Now, what we're looking at is a healthy cell. As you can see, all of these cells are moving in unison. They are in order, and this is basically how a healthy cell, a healthy chloroplast cell looks like, and this is all the internal function is going on. Now, this is what's going on with most humans on the planet because they're living unnatural lifestyles, because they unknowingly are lacking the biofeedback necessary to maintain a healthy functionality of their bodies. This is what happens to most human beings. This is the same cells that are from chloroplasts, and as you can see, the same uniform pattern that extended all across the cell, there has been drastic changes. What we're looking at here is chloroplasts under a light source lacking ultraviolet light. That means this cell is no longer receiving the full spectrum of sunlight, and because of this, the same cells that was moving in uniform all around the cells, well, because they are lacking the necessary information, just look at it. The cells has become dumb. Some cells are literally staying in the corner. They just completely gave up on the formation that they're supposed to be in. Some cells are trying their best to maintain the structure, and look at that. Some cells are even making shortcuts, and they're no longer doing what they're supposed to do. And I'm just showing y'all an example of what happens microscopically when our cells, or any cell from a living being, lacks the proper biofeedback. They lack the proper information. These cells can no longer function properly, and as you can see, it's total chaos compared to here where everything is in unison.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we see with our eyes is literally a small portion of the energy we're receiving from sunlight. And I would like everybody to know now that what we see with our eyes represent less than 1% of all of the frequencies and all of the energies that we receive from the sun. Let's stop there. Doesn't that sound kind of familiar? Less than 1%? I just explained to you guys on how our conscious minds, our egos, represent less than 1% of our whole total minds, our whole total beings. Well, guys, everything that we can see with our eyes only represent less than 1% of what's actually here now on planet Earth, what's actually powering up this reality. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot more in sunlight that science is yet to tell the public, that we are yet to realize. And I'd like everybody to know now that they are not targeting the visible aspect of sunlight. They are not targeting the light itself. They are targeting the frequencies and the energies that we cannot perceive. The primary tool that they use to even make this possible, they use the warfare, the simple warfare, the simple technology known as a filter. That's literally what they're doing, guys. They use a filter that filters out everything and only leaves us with the less than 1% that makes up the illusionary world of the ego. They filter out everything and only leave us with the visible spectrum, and that's everything that we can see with our eyes. Now, guys, I'd like everybody to know now that there are different forms of light within sunlight, and some forms of light they have different properties than other forms. And I would like everybody to know now that there are forms of light that can only travel through air particles. They cannot travel through liquids. They cannot travel through solids. And more than likely, these are most of the rays that make up the 99% of our reality that we can't see. Most of these rays are literally like this. They literally cannot penetrate solids. They literally cannot penetrate liquids. And these aliens have designed a filter to stop these necessary light codes from reaching our bodies. Now, the most commonly used filter that they're using to do this is glass, ladies and gentlemen. Any type of glass is primarily used to filter out the full spectrum of sunlight, leaving us with a very little form of light to work with. Now, this full spectrum of sunlight, little is known about it because there are so many different frequencies that science is yet to discover. But I'd like to let y'all know now that, man, the invisible part of sunlight is really what is truly powering all of life, and the visible part is just a small portion of it. Whether we know it or not, there is invisible light at dark time. Even though the sun is not in the sky, there is still a form of sunlight in the atmosphere still. And it's like we have been taught, it's like we don't realize what true sunlight is. True sunlight is frequencies, both the visible and the invisible.
We need to realize that diseases such as cancer and all of these crazy diseases that are plaguing humanity is all a result of the body not getting the necessary invisible rays of the sun that it can use to finally get rid of all this crap. Most of the people that are suffering from cancer, these are the same people that are not getting the full spectrum of light. And one of the consequences of not giving their body the energy it needs to deal with these problems is having cancer or having diseases such as that.
Ladies and gentlemen, ultraviolet light and the other invisible light spectrums, the other invisible light frequencies, we need to realize that our bodies use these frequencies to maintain health. And this has already been established by science. But some of the functions of these invisible rays, your body literally uses these rays to create sex hormones and to naturally give the body everything it needs to procreate efficiently. These invisible rays also assist with weight loss. It gives the body the ability to lose weight and to finally deal with a lot of the toxins that are making the body gain weight and so forth. These invisible rays are used to produce vitamin D in the body. Without these rays, specifically ultraviolet, your body cannot produce vitamin D. And the benefits can go on and on. These invisible rays are used to lower blood pressure. These invisible rays, when they hit our skin, they're actually able to make our blood more intelligent so that our blood will flow to the places that need it the most. These rays also lower cholesterol. It helps with any type of blockage in the body. It helps with any type of cloggage. And it just goes on and on, guys. It goes on and on. The invisible rays is literally the key to health. And we need the full spectrum of sunlight to get to maintain a lot of the health processes in the body. And just to give you an idea, once again, a lot of people that lack melanin, they get sunburn when they're exposed to the light for a long period of time. And I would like people to know that they are not getting sunburn from the visible spectrum of sunlight. Instead, they are getting sunburn from the invisible part of sunlight. Did you know it's impossible to get sunburn through a glass? As long as you have glass over you, you can never get sunburn? That would just show you how much glass is filtering out of sunlight, how much sunlight glass is filtering from us. That should give you a big indicator there. Now, the warfare is very serious, guys. We need to understand that our brains are using our eyes to connect with the sun. The eyes is literally one of the most important organs when it comes to connecting with the universe. And right now on planet Earth, we have people that are wearing glasses their whole lives. We got people wearing contacts their whole lives. Now, all you really have to do is to really think now how reality is constructed, and you will find that even if you don't wear glasses, even if you don't physically have filters over your eyes, you're being filtered from the sun whether you know it or not. And just take a simple observation of everybody's lives, you'll realize that, damn, literally everywhere you go, there's a filtration process going on, and it's very hard to actually get natural sunlight. And it's literally got to the point where people are no longer in sunlight. Even though we can see all these images and see all these things, when you really break down somebody's life and really investigate how much light they get, you'll realize that it's close to zero, or close to, it's very low. That's what you'll realize. All right. Now, real quick, guys, I'd like everybody to know, since we're on the topic of filters, I'd like everybody to know that there's another filter that's being used to keep humans away from the beneficial rays of the sun. And that filter is what we call clothes. Clothes is literally another form of warfare. And whether we know it or not, science is yet to tell the public this, but our skin, the way our skin utilizes the sun energy is way beyond what science is really ready to tell the public. And that is why it is very, very, very important that we stay wearing clothes. It's very, very important that we continue to put lotion on our skin and all of these unnatural practices, because if a human being was to remain naked for a considerable amount of time, that alone will give the body an environment where it can reverse all of the alien warfares and all of the unnatural tendencies this environment are giving it. But because we are wearing clothes all the fucking time, there are parts of our bodies that has been so damaged, it's mind-boggling. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know there are people right now on this earth that have feet that has never seen sunlight for years because their feet has been clogged up in shoes since they can remember? Do you know there are people on this earth, there are men on this earth that since they was born, their penises, their genitals, their actual sexual organs have never ever seen sunlight before? Do you know that there's actual people like that? Do you know that alone should give you an indicator on how serious this phenomena is, guys? they primarily use filters. They use any type of substance, any type of solid that can stop the invisible rays from making contact with our bodies. Yes, there are different forms of sunlight. There are different forms of frequencies. Some frequencies are stronger than others. Some frequencies have the power to penetrate water. Some frequencies have the power to penetrate solids, like the visible spectrum. It can actually penetrate a solid like glass. But guys, we gotta realize there are also frequencies that are not like that. There are frequencies that cannot penetrate any type of solid, and they can only travel through air particles. And right now, just like glass is a filter, we gotta realize that they're even doing it in our skies, guys. They even have to spray chemtrails and to produce all types of filters in the sky just to make sure that some of the invisible rays, some of the invisible frequencies cannot make contact with us. And that's how big, that's how deep all this have gotten to. Well, we're still not finished. We're still going to expose more of all the things that they do. Alright guys, so now that we know that our bodies need sunlight, and we're not just talking about the visible spectrum, we're talking about all of sunlight. Our bodies need both the visible and the invisible spectrum of light to truly function in health and to be connected with nature. Now that we know that, we need to realize what disease actually is. All disease is, ladies and gentlemen, is the lack of energy where it should be in the body. Disease is basically the physical end result of a lack of energy flow through certain parts of the body. And like I already told us in this video, whether we know it or not, different portions of our brain uses our eyes to receive the energy it needs from our environment to function. Ladies and gentlemen, due to human beings unconsciously not giving their bodies the necessary energy they need to function, you guessed it, our brains are no longer working properly. And we're going to have to really dive deep into this subject right now. Alright, so this part of the video is intended to be a very big eye-opener to the whole world. And like we already know, everything that has to do with our bodies is powered by light. Now, real quick, right here, we're on Wikipedia, and this place is trash for really getting information, but I'm just using it real quick to show you something. Now, our bodies are powered by light, and the units to measure light, they call it lux. Lux is a unit of luminance, and whatever. What I'm trying to show you is that light is measurable. The luminance of light is measurable, and is measured by what they call lux. All right. And a lot of people are under the illusion that, hey, I don't really need natural light. I have artificial lights. I have all this stuff giving me all the light I need to do my my daily habits and whatnot. But what I would like to show people now on how big of an issue this is, we need to realize that our brains need light to work properly, and because we're no longer giving our brain the necessary food it needs, it can't function properly. Now, based on what is known as lux, I would like to show you guys what we have unknowingly been doing to ourselves when we spend the whole day indoors and all other types of things.
So right here we have a chart, and in this column they're showing you all of the sources of illuminations, and they're basically measuring it by lux. Now right here I like to bring to your attention, because everybody is not everybody is affected by this. A lot of people spend their days indoors. Now guys, let's focus on how much light we're really getting from indoor lighting. And as you can see, family living room lights or office building hallways, toilet lighting that you can find in indoors, as you can see how low the light level is, 50 lux, 80 lux. Now guys, on a very dark, cloudy day, the light meter is on 100, and right here it says office lighting 300, 500 lux. Now we need to realize that on a normal sunny day, this is how much lux is in the atmosphere. 10,000 to 25,000. In direct sunlight, it gets as high to 100,000 lux. Now, compare this last column, direct sunlight. This is probably somebody sun gazing. This would probably be like 200,000 lux or even more. Now, compare somebody sun gazing, how much energy they're getting, to somebody that chooses to stay indoors their whole day. Do you see how big of a difference it is from artificial lights and natural light? Full daylight, not direct sunlight, will give the body 10,000 to 25,000 lux. In direct sunlight, it will give the body up to 100,000 lux. Now compare that to what we're giving the body each and every day being indoors.
Yeah, guys, something that I would like everybody to realize now about indoor lights is that even though that these lights are providing some type of light that illuminates things, we need to understand that these lights are operating on dead frequencies. Now, sunlight is actual living light, guys. There's actual living particles within sunlight that our bodies can use for all of the biological functions within it. Artificial lights, on the other hand, these sources of light uses dead frequencies. They are using frequencies of light that do not have light whatsoever. It has no type of light. So people will be under the illusion that they're illuminated, but really they're keeping their body in a dead zone, a dead frequency. And anything that you expose yourself to, you attune with. So it's like people that spend most of their days indoors, instead of for them to be traveling through time, because living light actually has information that your body uses, you know, instead for you to be traveling through time, when you're indoors, you give your body the illusion it's trapped in the dead zone, light that doesn't move, light that's not alive, and so forth. All right, so to put it in another way, guys, we got to realize that the sun is behind a lot of the biological functions that go on in our bodies. There are a lot of biorhythms, a lot of cycles within our bodies that make use of sunlight to know what time it is, whether it's time for us to be put into action, whether it's time for us not to be put into action, whether it's time for us to rest, and so forth. And when we're in artificial lights, we give our bodies no type of information it can use to know what time it is in the universe. when we're under artificial lights, we give our bodies no information to even know what's going on in the environment, to even know what's going on in the universe. And it gives off the illusion of the body being in a void of dead, a void of no time, a void of no activity, a void of no movement. And all these things throw off the biorhythms within our bodies. Our bodies are incapable of knowing what time it is. And if people have indoor lifestyles, a lifestyle of constantly being in indoor lighting, they are giving their bodies no type of stimulus, no type of light codes it can use to merge with the environment. All right, so not only that, we gotta realize that the invisible spectrum, the invisible part of sunlight that we can't see, these are the very frequencies that source our mood. These are the very frequencies that source our emotions and our physical health and whatnot. So when the body is in artificial lights, it is not getting any type of rays. It's not getting any type of frequencies that it can use for its mood, that it can use for its health. So it gives off the illusion that it's a cloudy day. Because like I said, guys, invisible rays, there are different types of properties within sunlight. And there are some types of sunlight that cannot penetrate liquids, that cannot penetrate solids, that cannot penetrate the shade. Anything that produces shade, there are some types of rays that cannot penetrate these kind of obstacles. And when you're in artificial lights, you're basically telling the body, there is no light today. There is absolutely no light. And today is going to be hell. Well, not hell, but today is going to be gloomy or whatnot. A lifestyle of living indoors all the time gives the body the illusion that it is dark and cloudy every single day. So now you can see just how serious this is. For the human body to exist every day, to be under the illusion that every day is cloudy, oh my God, I do not even want to imagine how much of an effect it's going to have on whoever's brain. We got to realize now, guys, there are literally millions of people living that kind of lifestyle now on the planet. They go their whole lives indoors. And because of it, guys, a consequence of this behavior, a consequence of this lifestyle, their brains are dead. They can no longer use their brain properly. And whether we know it or not, functions such as creativity, being able to be in a good mood, being able to be enthusiastic, optimistic, being able to see the brighter side of life, a lot of these things are dependent on light. If you do not give your body enough light, your mood will be affected, guys. Your well-being will be affected. And it's about time that human beings start to see themselves as solar beings. We're literally just like plants. The same way if you keep a plant outside of sunlight, it's going to die. It's the same exact way if you keep us out of sunlight, we will be affected drastically. Now, when you really think about it, all these things really make sense for somebody that's trying to control humans. If you want to stop humans from being creative, because whether we know it or not, creativity is powered by light. If you want to stop humans from being creative, if you want to lessen the probability of them thinking outside the box, if you want to make sure that they are always under stress, always gloomy, always moody, keep them out of sunlight. And as you can see, living an indoor lifestyle gives the body the environment to do just that. Living indoors does not give the body the food it needs to power our creativity, to power our inspiration, to power good vibes, to power a good mood. And I just needed to show y'all that. I just needed to show you how hazardous these indoor lights can be. It's all one big illusion. Yes, it powers, yes, it provides some type of visible light, but it is not giving our body any type of frequency it can use as food. It is just a false type of light. It's an illusionary type of light, and it's a mockery for human beings to go a whole day, a whole sunny day indoors while they can be giving their body the food that it needs. And in order for us to get back into our natural state of being, these are some topics we're going to have to realize and start to work on. And one of those is reconnecting with natural light, reconnecting with sunlight. Now, this video, guys, I feel like, in all honesty, this is a topic that I need to touch on before anything else. This is the basics, and I feel as though within this video, all the knowledge you need to increase your consciousness is in this video. All you literally have to do is give your body enough energy, and your body will do everything subconsciously. All it needs is energy. Once you start to give your body the proper supply of energy, you will notice that you will start to do things differently. You will start to form new habits. Your body will start to do things in a totally different way. But because we are so disconnected from these energy sources, we have forced our bodies to become dumb. Yeah, so literally, guys, just to give you a quick breakdown once again, everything is subconscious, and whether we know it or not, our bodies are literally microcosms of the macrocosm. And one of the things that the universe does, it moves in cycles, guys. It definitely moves in cycles. And we need to realize that our bodies is no different. Your level of consciousness determines the cycles your body is literally locked in. And one of the goals of these aliens, they know that once your body gets a constant supply of energy, or once your body gets balanced within the wavelength, it will tend to stay within that wavelength its whole life until something drastically forces a change within your programs. So in a way, these aliens know that all they have to do is get your energy low enough, and your body will do all the work from there. The way that the human body anchors us within these consciousness levels, they use habits. Habits is literally the cycles the body uses to keep us within the wavelength. Now, these aliens, they want our level of consciousness to be so low. They want us to be anchored in as low of an energy as possible, so that all of our habits will be self-destructive. They want us to be in a self-destructive cycle, and that's literally how everything is done. The body is subconscious, guys, and it uses the energy you give it to create a cycle of habits that will keep it in that energy wavelength. And all they really have to do is to make sure your energy is low, and your body will do the rest. So I know a lot of people are wondering, damn, I want to make positive changes in my life. Why is it so hard to change? Well, guys, one of the reasons why it's hard to change is because everything is subconscious, and your body is literally locked into a wavelength. If you want to break any type of wavelength, one of the easiest ways of breaking out of a cycle is to give your body more energy. And that's all you really have to do. Give your body more energy. Okay guys, so now this video is beginning to get a little too long and I'm gonna have to cut it short. I would like to assure everybody that I'm not going anywhere, and I do apologize for my absence, guys, but trust me, we are all in this together, and whether you know it or not, everything that happened was absolutely perfect. It was perfect that I wasn't on YouTube for all this time. And don't worry guys, I'm here for you, you're here for me, and I'm going to be here to always make videos as long as I can make videos, as long as I can be of service to you guys. Yeah, guys, there's going to be more videos to come sooner than you think, probably in a couple more days or so. So yeah, I just put this video out. I just made this video real quick because I know for a fact, even though this is the basics, it still needs to be addressed. This is still information that really needs to be addressed as many times as possible until people really understand how important light is in our lives. Yeah guys, so the gist is this guys. Everything in existence, every living thing, everything alive in reality is energy. And just to sum it up guys, in this solar system, the closest you can get to the source of all energy is the sun. You literally are the sun, and your body knows this, and all it wants to do is reconnect with who you are, which is the sun. Your body knows all it needs to do is to get guidance from the sun. With that being said guys, we gotta do our part to reconnect with who we are. It does not matter your age, it does not matter your race. This matrix is designed to specifically to create a disconnection. Whether you're in school, whether you got a job that you go to, whether you're just a couch potato, it does not matter. This matrix is designed to give you habits that revolve around you being isolated from sunlight, that revolve around you being isolated from the frequencies your body needs to be on track. Once again guys, everything is subconscious, and your body is using energy to perform actions, to do whatever it is that it chooses to do. And the more energy you give your body, the more intelligent it will become. And right now, due to the fact that we've been isolated for so long from sunlight, all of our bodies are dumb, and it does not have the necessary information for it to make the right choices, for it to choose life. Right now, most people's bodies are incapable of choosing life because they have been away from life for so long. So guys, the gist of this video is this. I want everybody to realize that our original environment is an open environment, environment that has access to sunlight, that has access to all the natural things. And we need to be outside as much as possible, be exposed to sunlight as much as possible. You know, I know the shade is comfortable, but sometimes we need that tan. We need that tan, guys. We need that sunlight to enter our brains and all that. So get as much sunlight as possible. There will be more videos. Thank you for watching. This has been a very long video, but I hope you learned a lot. Master of Earth, guys. There's no cause of anything. More videos to come. Love.